Hi and welcome to my first ever TouchDesigner tutorial. I've always wanted to do this kind of interactive breakdown on how to do patch that can interact with the mouse very easily into TouchDesigner. So we're going to see how to do this kind of patch. It's just a grid of squares, and when the mouse enters the squares, they contract into a circle and then slowly go back to their square shape, and also change color every time the mouse is entering the shape. So it's pretty straightforward, so let's get into it right now. So the first step is to create a container comp. Container comp is going to make our life really easier when it comes to replicating our square once we set it up. So it's in the black page of the operators, container comp. And we know we want a square, so let's just put like square ratio already, width 300, height 300, perfect. Let's go inside, and now we can start to make our rectangle, our square. It's a texture, so we go into the top page, the purple one, and let's type rectangle, yeah. And now we have our rectangle. I wanted it to be quite almost the size of like the area, the texture, so I'm going to put 0.99. Oh, yeah, perfect. And then I want it to be not like 256 or to have to just change every time like the parent component change the size, so I want to create a direct link to this one. So if we want to have like the direct expression linking the two values, we can click on the width in the parameter, like container parameter. If we click on width, we can see like a little W here, height, little H. So we can copy parameter, go inside, and then paste reference, like we would do with a chop. And then we can see that we have parent.par.w. So this is how you can access parameters of different operators. You can just type, so the parent of this operator, so parent of rectangle 1, parent with the parenthesis, dot par, because we want to access a parameter of the parent, and then dot, so we saw that width was W, and now we put H for the height. And now we have something that's really convenient, just 300 by 300, and when we move, like if we make 400 by 400, it's going to be the same resolution here. So we don't have to touch to like this texture anymore, but we don't see the result yet. So let's just create an output. Out. So when you do this into the main, like the main project, usually you have access to it directly into the like perform window. But now, as it's a container that we created, we have to like specify it like by hand. So in the look tab of our parameters, we can say look inside this operator, so look inside this container, and to do that we just type /. So this means we're just going to point out an operator that's inside this window, and the name is out1. So now we have our square, and it's going to be a little more convenient. I'm just going to right click and view, so I can take a better look at my little square, and I'm going to go back. So now we want to have mouse interaction. You could do, you could use, like for most cases, the mouse chop, but this time we'll be using panel, which offers a lot more options and is going to maintain. You'll see how it's really convenient when you're replicating interaction. So for now, just use panel, and you can see that we have a lot of options, a lot of channels in this chop. And we see that when we put the mouse in the window, we have a lot of information. So the horizontal and vertical position, if the mouse is clicked or not, right click, left click, double click, like even the number of clicks. So we have a lot more information than into just mouse chop. And the one that we want to use here, so panel is already referencing like the container above, so it's directly scoped, just looking for the mouse interaction of this specific parent container. And what we want to extract as information is the mouse inside or outside, so we can change the square to a circle. And very conveniently we have a channel that's named inside, so perfect. Let's create a new operator by dragging, hitting tab, type select, yeah. Now I want to select only the inside channel, inside. And now I just have this information, I don't need more. And I just put a null in case I want to have like different like information, different operator between my null and my rectangle. And what I want to access is this corner radius to turn it into a circle. So right now it's in pixels, but I don't want pixels because if it's like hard set on pixel, if we increase the size, like the corners won't have the same ratio. So we want to go with a fraction. So now I'll go by small increments. We see that we want to animate it from 0.5, where it's a full circle, and 0. Perfect. So this is the value. Right now I'm just going to link this inside to the corner radius, chop reference. So just again, to make this link, I'm clicking on the operator, clicking on the plus or A key to make the window active, hover and it's green, drag and hover on the operator I want to make the link on, and then still holding the mouse, releasing on the parameter I want to connect. And then I have this window, I use a chop reference, so it's making a reference to this operator and this channel. So now when we go into the window with the mouse, it's just switching between the two. Okay, that's the start. It's just going a bit too far because one, we saw that it was already a circle at 0.5, and now one we don't need the value to go that high. So let's get a math, and in the range tab, go from, right now it's going from 0 to 1, and we only want for it to go to 0, from 0 to 0.5. So from 0.1 to 0.5. And it's just the same. Perfect. So we want to have something a little more gradual, like not so abrupt. So we can right click on the connection, insert operator, and now add a lag chop. Lag chop is going to ease the transition between values. So right now it's in a second. So it's going to take 0.2 seconds to go from 0 to 1 and 0.2 seconds to come down from 1 to 0. So now we see that it's just like we have easing on the value. But if we make like fast movement like this, when you have a lot of different squares, we want to have we want it to be directly a circle and then come back as a square. So let's get rid of the first value, put just 0, so it's just directly a circle, and then increase a bit, maybe 1 second, from the circle to come back as a square. So it's nice and slow. Perfect. Now what do we want to do? Maybe do the changing color, so it's a different color each time we come in the, like each time the mouse come into the window, it's going to switch the color. So it's convenient, we already have like the information of is the mouse inside the window or not. So let's just take a noise for that. So we have a noise, we only need 1 pixel because we pretty much only need one value. So 1 pixel. Then I want it to be the same size as my square, so I can combine the two. So after my noise, I put a fit, which is just an operator that can downsize or upscale like resolution of an operator. So same thing, I want to have like the same width and height, so I can just copy and paste the parent link, width, and then height, just paste and change the W for an H. And right now it's like smoothing weirdly the colors. It's because of the input smoothness, and I want to change interpolate to nearest pixel. So it's just going to like upscale and make hard transition between pixels. Right now it's only 1 pixel, so it's just not smooth anymore. And we want to have this color, unlock, this color inside this shape. So I just use the inside top like this, and then I want this color inside this shape, and then wire that to the output, and we have like our shape and our color, and we can still change the color. Like if I change the seed, it's going to change the color and still maintain the shape. It's pretty convenient sometimes to have like shape and color separated. It's one way to do it. You could do it a lot of different ways. We could have put like just random value inside the color here. And now we want to have like a different color each time the mouse comes into the window, and we already have the information, yes or no, is the mouse into the window. Right now we can already just put a count. So this is an operator that will count every time something happens, like from 0 to 1. We saw that like the value inside didn't come down like in the select, it's just going up, like it's adding 1 each time this operator goes from 0 to 1. So we can have a count, like a counter, how many times did the mouse come into the window. And that's pretty convenient. We can just take this value and put it into the seed. And now it's going to increase the seed, so roll the dice on the randomness each time the mouse comes into the window. So it's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Perfect. So now we can go up a level, so scroll down, up, you know, just come out of this operator, and now we have this piece of interactive patch. Okay, and if we go up a level, and now we have like this project. This is the project comp that comes up when you click on this, and you can see that when you just hit plus, it's already interactive. But it's weird, it's just in a corner. It's pretty like that. We want a grid of them. We don't want just to have this randomly in the corner. So the way you can set this up is in the children tab of the parameters. we know we want a grid, so let's pick grid rows. Perfect. And also, like it's just scaling this up to fill the window. And we want like a square grid, so let's put 1080 by 1080. Perfect. So now it's like a nice fitting rectangle. Just it's mirroring like the pixel. It's not really sharp because we have a 400 by 400 rectangle inside the 1080 by 1080 square. So let's start by replicating this, and then we'll just fix it. So we have our first item. I'll name it template, maybe template. So this is the original one. A good operator to do this kind of replication is actually in the comp tab, it's named replicator. And it's an operator that can take a master operator, and you can set it to replicate a number of times, like a set number of times. The one I want to replicate is this one, template. So in the replicator, I just drag and drop into master operator. And then I want to replicate by number. And if I want square, maybe I'll put, so if I want 16 squares, as I already have one with the template, I just say I want 15 more. Oh wow, it's overlapping. I just want 15 more, and now it just created 15 operators. And when we go up a level, we see that it's already organized into a grid thanks to our children grid rows parameter. So now we can click plus, and it's already working. So that's it's okay, but I want to fix the resolution to make it really flexible, and so we don't have like either just thousands of pixels that are wasted because now it's just 400, like each square is 400, but now our resolution here is 1080, so we're computing a lot of pixels for nothing. So let's just have it pixel perfect. So to do this, I just keep a view of this one, just so I can try test. I'll make a constant chop that will keep track of how many squares I want in my grid, like how many by how many. I will keep square grids, so it's a bit simpler. And I leave this one going from 0 to 1, and instead I will put a math to change the range. So I want minimum. So right now my constant is going from 0 to 1, and I want it to be able to go from 1. I don't want less than one operator. So from 1 to maybe 10 by 10 grid. Perfect. And I want it to be like whole numbers. So let's round, so we have only integers, only round numbers. Perfect. And now what I want to do in the replicator, so let's put a null to make a clean connection. So if we want to insert an operator, it's easy. And I'll say I want, just put it halfway. On my replicator, how many replicants do I want? I want 5 times 5. So I want 5 squared, because it's only like the number of squares on one edge. So oh wow, oh yeah. So I took this link, and I already, like I put, you can multiply also the reference when we do a reference to an operator like this, a link like this, you can multiply by 2, by whatever number you want, but you can also multiply it by the same, like by itself, by the same value. The way TouchDesigner is looking at this is just checking the reference to the node and putting the number, so you can do all the math you want with this expression. And right now it's not a perfect grid because I already had one template, so I just want, so right now it's creating a perfect grid on top of my template, my already existing square. I don't want to waste it, so I'll just do my number of square by edge squared minus 1 because I already have one. And right now it's perfect. And when I change in the constant, it's creating the corresponding number of squares minus 1 each time. And it's still all interactive. One thing now to take care of the resolution, it's the same logic as what we did into this operator with the square to connect to the parent operator. So right now we want our grid, each of the squares to be the size of the whole grid divided by the number of squares. So it's we already have all the information. So let's take width. So I want it to be parent parenthesis dot. Let me just expand so you can see parent parenthesis dot par dot w divided by, and now it's this one I want to take, so let's type it directly, OP, because it's this like a specific operator, parenthesis quote, it's not single quote, null 1 because it's the operator we're referencing, single quote, close parenthesis. So go see into null 1 and square brackets, single quotes. Inside null 1 you want to look at the channel named channel 1. Okay, so that's alright for the width. Let's do the same for the height. So the same, but replace the W with an H, and it should be alright. In the replicator you can recreate all operators to be sure that it updates what we just did, because it's replicating the main operator, but inside it's still the same. We just have like 100 times, 25 times the same things happening. Okay, and we can see that when we change the resolution, our squares updates its size to be like a fraction, like exactly the size it should be. So you can see that the way we use panel instead of mouse in to get the mouse interaction is really interesting now, because we can hover any other square. It just works on the square we're actually like scoping. If we used mouse in, it would just be for like the absolute value of the mouse, regardless of if it's like into a comp or another. Right now with panel comp we can have like scoped mouse interaction, so it's really helpful. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can do like different things with this now. If you go inside this and uncheck monochrome, recreate all operators, you can have the same concept but with colors. You can do a lot of things different. You can put different shapes. You can, like I did on Instagram, I posted something when it replaced the squares with letters when you hovered. So once you have like these basics, you can create pretty much any interaction, and also be clever about how each of these squares will be the same because you're replicating, but how will they be different from each other. What we did was to count the number of times the mouse was passing on each of them, and that's what's differencing them. If we just recreate all operators, they are all the same because they are just copying the value inside our template, and it's only once we interact with them that it's going to be a different operators, becoming different squares, different colors. Okay, thank you so much for looking at my first ever tutorials, and thank you so much for my Patreon supporters. I already have a few. I didn't advertise so much about my Patreon, but I already have the luck to have 5 patrons. So the tutorials I'm doing here will always be free to watch on YouTube, but I'm putting like commented files on Patreon, and I'm also putting the challenges we do on the Discord server. I'm putting the files on Patreon as well. So you basically have all the knowledge by watching the tutorial, but if you want the files, it's on the paying tier of my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next tutorial.